Hello and welcome to part 3 in the Recliner Parts video series. Today's topic: what you need to know before you try to buy your parts online. Now today we're looking at method number 2 or source 2 in this video series. If you're interested in source number 1, which is trying to get parts from dealers and manufacturers, be sure to see part 2 in this video series. We're going to look at 2 common parts that you may need for your recliner, one simple and one more complex. And this will give you a good idea of what you'll need to be aware of before you try to find these parts online. We'll start with the simple part. This is a simple pull, handle, and cable assembly. This type of pull is referred to sometimes as a D-pull or a parachute pull. And what you need to be aware of are a number of things, and we'll kind of go through them here step by step. This is a hidden handle. It actually hides down alongside the seat cushion, either between 2 cushions or between the seat cushion and the arm frame. So the distance between this mounting bracket and the top of this handle is important, and I'll get to that more in a minute. Also important is the overall length of the cable and how the cable housing attaches to the mechanism to hold it in place, and finally, how the end fastens to the mechanism itself. You're going to need the same type of end that is on your original cable. This particular housing fastens into a cutout in the mechanism. You'll also need to make note of the distance between the two, the end of your cable and where the housing fastens, and also the amount of play or travel. Some refer to this as the throw. Now, I mentioned earlier on these hidden handles, the distance from the mounting bracket to the top of the handle is important because this handle is down below the seat cushion or the top of the seat cushion. You can see here in another example, this handle is well above this mounting bracket, and this is not adjustable. These are usually stationary, so you can't slide it up to adjust it. So you can see if this was your original part, this would not match at all. The handle would be sticking well over your seat cushion. There are other types of cable configurations. This one has more of an S-shaped cable end that attaches to the mechanism, and a different type of cable housing connector. This plugs into an opening in the mechanism to hold it in place. And of course here we have a return spring. So you can see there are different configurations, and here we have different distances and throws and so on. Here we have a different type of handle. And these two match. They're the same type of handle. You can see the cable mounts into the handle housing from a different direction. So this is something else to be aware of if you have this type of handle. So as you can see, even with a simple part like this, there are perhaps 6 to 10 different aspects that you have to get on pretty close if you want to match up with your original part, with a part that's online. You want to be sure and you get the connectors right, and of course how the cable housing attaches, the type of handle, and so forth. And just get as close as you can with the length. Okay, now let's take a look at a much more complex part. I have a scissor here to a reclining mechanism. I'm sorry I don't have a complete unit in the shop at the moment. But these leg extensions, there's usually a pair, 2, that extend out to the footrest that opens and closes the manual recliner. And these parts, or you should say these mechanisms, come in a lot of different configurations. Of course, we have solid pull handles, we have cable activated units, we have power units that are actually powered by a lift motor or actuator. There are wall saver units, standard recliners. There are very wide recliners that have a very wide stance, like in a 1.5 chair recliner, for example. So there are a lot of different configurations. They often have cross supports that connect the 2 scissors together, and there may be other structures associated with the scissor that you see here. So, very complex part, right? how do you find the exact one that you need online? Well, if you have dealer information, or excuse me, manufacturer information, ID tag on your furniture, I highly recommend that you go through the dealer or manufacturer to get these types of replacement parts, because online is very difficult. But if you don't have any other option and you're trying to get your part the only way you can online, all I can suggest is try to find an online seller with a good return policy. Look for a return policy that doesn't penalize you if the part they say will work in your chair doesn't. Now let's take a look at the overseas parts problem. And I don't have any parts to show you to illustrate this, but I've got a story to tell you. I had a customer about a year ago that contacted me to help them repair their reclining sectional. They have power reclining sectional unit. I went out to check it out. And I was fortunate because they had more than one motorized recliner, so I could take the parts off the one that worked, swap it out with the one that didn't, to determine exactly what parts were needed. So that was a good thing. But when I checked out the frame and the furniture to try to find the manufacturer name or an ID tag, I came up empty. So I asked the customer, I said, where did you purchase your furniture? And they explained they had purchased from a a department store, a national name brand department store. And I said, by chance, have you tried to contact them about getting replacement parts? And they said, why, yes, we have. They're not going to help. So this is a big problem with overseas products. If you don't have a manufacturer name and you don't have some ID numbers that can tell you exactly when that part was produced and all the information that's necessary to get parts, there's no way you can go through the manufacturer to get parts for a lot of these overseas units. And this is contributing to the parts problem. So I told the customer, I said, well, I'll take these old parts back and I'll try to do some research online and see if I can come up with something for you. So I did a little research. I went on to Amazon.com and I started looking at the photographs of replacement power supplies because the unit had a very distinctive look to it. And I happened to find one that matched up really well. So I went and checked out that information on that particular unit and checked the cable ends, the plugs, and so forth to see if they matched up. And also, I checked the information on the output of the power supply. And by the way, I should mention, not only is there going to be some output information, but sometimes there's a manufacturer. And whenever you can find a manufacturer, that's going to help you track down the product a lot easier. Now, on that particular power supply for my customer, it had no manufacturer name, so I didn't have that advantage. So I went back to the customer. I had actually located the power supply and one activation button. Again, just by looking at pictures and identifying the connectors and so forth. And I said, this is really your only choice if you want to take a chance and see if these parts online may work in your furniture. I said, I can't guarantee that they will, but if you want to take a chance, I think it was like $38 and some change plus the shipping. So I left that up to the customer. They decided to go ahead and take that chance, ordered the parts, and called me up when they came in. I went out, installed the parts, and we were very fortunate that they did work in the furniture. But this is a typical example of what a lot of people are running into, because when you can't go through the dealer or the retailer that sold you the furniture and you can't contact the manufacturer, you're often left with only one option, going online. So if it sounds kind of sketchy when it comes to parts like reclining mechanisms, yeah, you should be wary. It is difficult to get something like that online. But there is some good news when it comes to online recliner parts. I'm happy to say in the last several years, many more parts have been coming online than ever before. People are recognizing, third-party sellers are recognizing that there's a need for parts out there, and they're trying to fill that need. So that's a good thing. Serious online sellers will have to figure out how to get you the correct part the first time if they want to stay in business. Otherwise, they're going to be buried in returns and complaints. And finally, I'm going to close this video by saying that I don't have any particular recommendations for online sellers for recliner parts because I'm no expert in that. I've only done 2 repairs so far in my career that involved getting online parts. So I don't really study who's online or where to get parts or who's doing a good job and so forth. But if you watch this video, hopefully at least now you have a basic understanding of the things you need to know or to consider before you try to get your parts online. So that's it for this video. We'll see you next time.